All right, ready? Three,
Yep.
2, 1, magical fingers. All right, boys. What's your favourite film clip?
Australian
And
band
Brendan,
or any band?
I think any band. Yeah, any band. And it's not just one. You know, like it's too much for one. There's you know, so
I'm starting with one that's one of my favorites. Like,
yeah, what's that?
it's really hard because it depends on what you're doing. But the one of my favorite film clips I ever saw that got me to start watching it and then watch it all the way to the end was Pig Destroyer with The Diplomat.
Yes.
Now, I don't mind Pig Destroyer. Like, if someone puts it on, I don't turn it off.
Yeah.
But I'll very, very rarely actually put them on. Like, I like them. I think they're cool, but they're just they're not my center, right? But this film clip, I have to watch it each time, and I'll lay the groundwork because it's just awesome. So there's all these monkeys. So there's people in monkey suits, and they're cleaning each other and shit. And this like limousine falls from the sky and lands on the ground, and this guy in a suit comes out with like this suitcase and everything, and you know, he gets out these machine guns and he hands them to the monkeys, and the monkeys like, oh, look at these machine guns, because they don't know what they are, you know. Ooh, and then one of them shoots one of the other ones by accident, and they're like, oh wow, this is fun, we can kill each other, you know, and they all start killing each other and stuff. And it's just, there's all these like reds and greens and purples, and it looks like an alien world. Like they kind of did it in this comic book sort of style. Like it was real world, but it was kind of comic the way they do it. And there's lots
kind
of
of sounds
this
like Bollywood.
There's this shaking to it, and there's like he's like that all the time, and I fucking love it. I
remember that film clip. It's a good film clip.
So it's just, and it summed up the topic well. You know, the diplomat that, you know, is going to come in and solve everyone's problems, but ends up making things difficult. Like, it's clearly a political agenda underneath it. But I just thought it just really captured my imagination, that film clip. I thought it was really clever. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Well, I can say anyone from Tool for me is amazing.
Yeah.
Like
I've never really got into Tool. You choose one and explain it to me, because then that might get me interested.
Well, the early ones, the main one that sticks out for me is Schism. Schisms are really good, and I think it's so creative because the guitarist Adam Jones, he does a lot of the stuff for it. And I don't know if this is true, but I heard that he worked on Terminator 2, like as like one of the props or something like that, in the art department, you know. But I think they're just so intriguing to the eye for me, and you're right, they capture something, and they're so. And because the music's so involved, and I think the way because they use stop motion and all this sort of stuff, and I don't know, it's really visually really good to look at, and that's where I'm coming from. You know, like it just looks really cool, and I think it really speaks. You know, and I think it really matches the music. It's Tool for music. You know, especially the early stuff I love. But the Schism one stands out the most, and I think it's because I really like that song and that film clip. Every time I come on, like it's so good. But because I haven't watched them for ages, but every time, you know, gonna say something about a film clip, I always go, "Oh, those Tool ones are amazing." You know, they've always. And I think because they're really creative, and you don't see that much anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, especially with all the stop motion, that's really hard to do, and he spends a lot of time doing it.
I think it's Rory's turn now.
Film clip. I'm struggling on this one. That's hard.
It is a hard one.
I actually thought he was just going to say Dead Kelly. I thought he'd go for Rory.
They're pretty good. But there's one.
Any film clip from the 90s.
There's one that comes to mind. It's not like it's a bit of a, I don't know, left field. There's a very simple film clip that's executed very well by Chet Baker. A song called I think it's called Gold, where basically they've got a camera set up. I'm pretty sure it's just like on the back of a car, and the car just moves back. It just moves backwards on like a straight road that's like really dimly lit, and it's just got these two girls on rollerblades, and they're just like rollerblading around each other while the song goes on in like real slow motion, while the car just moves backwards.
Yeah.
It's just like a real simple, but it looks really sick. And they pulled it off really well. Good film clip. Good song too. If you haven't heard it, check it out.
Gonna have to now, aren't we?
Chet Faker, was it?
Yeah, it's Chet Baker.
Jeff Baker.
Chet Baker. I think I'm pretty sure it's called Gold. Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck finding it, Brendan. All right, what's yours, Brendan?
Well, I don't know the name of the song. It's a King Parrot one. It's filmed at the Tote.
Was that the one where he says he's not around to fuck spiders?
Yeah. So Slats comes up to the bar.
Yeah.
Gets a drink. Bats the barman. And lots of people in the crowd at the front bar of the Tote who you always see at metal gigs in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Like familiar faces. And I just like the way the other guitarist, I don't remember his name, puts an axe to the door. How you fucking going? Yeah, I like that. But any King Parrot film clip, yeah, fucking love them. The one where they're at Phil Anselmo, whatever his name is, and Slats comes out. I've just now come from Phil's room. The way that cunt talks, it just makes me laugh. Yeah, so any King Parrot clip, yeah, it's got my vote.
No, I was going to say the 12-foot Ninja film clips are good
I
too.
will say that, yeah.
But if we, like, I have to say, for Australian film clips, my favourites would have to be from Low. Have you seen those two? I think they've only got two. So one of them is where Sam's like there's the guitarist and the bassist and the drummer, and they're just going nuts with like gas masks on, which would have been so freaking uncomfortable to film. And there's this sort of, this square of pink goop in the middle of the stage, and then Sam comes up out of the pink goop, and he just slowly comes up, and it's all dripping and stuff, and he's screaming, and he does his thing, he's big, and it's just, they did that one, which was great, and then they did that other one where he's just lying on the table. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
And then his tats disappear, and then he turns into a chick, and then he's like, it's just, it's a mind-blowing one, and his eyes kind of like go darting off in different directions and shit. It's really clever. It's really clever. It matches the music really well too. I reckon they're some of the best film clips that you get in Australia, to be honest. I think one of the best simple film clips I ever saw was that newest one by Black Reno. Did you ever see that? Did you see that one?
Oh,
It's
no,
where
it's a
people
cool
go.
clip.
It is well done. So people go down and buy like light switches with Black Reno written on it. And when they turn the light on, Black Reno appears in their room just playing the song. And it's sort of just like, and there's people like vacuuming the floor and shit just around them as they're screaming and doing their thing. Like, it's very Larrick and it's very Aussie, but simple but effective. Like, you remember it. You know what I mean? Like, you think about it and you're like, that's really cool. And I think I like that sort of stuff, Hollow Worlds clip too, that was good too, the zombie one. Where they filmed all the zombies coming in and eating the band.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
No, I haven't seen that one, yeah.
Worth having a look at, yeah. So
Another band with good film clips is Violent Soho. They've got a lot of good film clips. You boys haven't seen them.
Who is it?
Violent Soho.
Oh, yeah.
Queensland band. They've got like their latest one. They're just like kind of going around as if they were kind of like door knockers, promoting their record. Just kind of asking people if they'd like to hear it, and then asking them also if they'd like them to play a gig in their lounge room. And then they actually go back later, and for the people that said yes, and they use that footage in there, they go and set up and they play like a bit of a, they do a few shots in the lounge room and then they add that into the film clip. It's pretty good. In random dudes' lounge room is just like families and shit sitting on the couch, like dad sitting there with a beer, like, yeah, it is cool.
That's brilliant.
But don't you find also I don't know, like if you're like late at night, if you're smashed or not smashed and you turn on Rage, like any film clip's amazing. Like it's like, it's just this. I was gonna say because we haven't done a film clip obviously, but like I did a film clip with Darker Half back in the day and it was the fucking worst. Like it was alright, but the drum timing was out. Like the dude that edited it was fucked. Like there's bits where I'm like where I'm doing a blast beat. Like it's just like it's just so cringy to watch. And that's another thing with film clips is I always watch out for the drummer. and the timing to the song. It's always a good one to look out for.
Yep.
That's what I like. But yeah.
Was it, the other thing I was thinking about, I remember the conversation that we had a while ago, Brendan, about deceptively simple film clips,
Yeah.
because there was that one by As I Lay Dying for their latest album, and they had like that white room, like it was just white all the way around, and it was just basically the camera going around the room, just filming them, just going not quickly, but going around, the room, just filming them, and all they did was perform. There was nothing else in the film clip, but all the walls were just like stark white. You didn't even see like the lines of the walls or anything. And I remember us talking about it, going, in order to pull that off, the amount of lighting you would have had to have used, and it would have to have been out of view, and you probably would have had to have had the camera on a track system, going around, so the room would have had to have been massive to fit everyone in there. And like, just as we started to talk about all the bits and pieces that were involved in that, we went, shit, that actually would have been really hard to pull off in the end, in the way that they did. And like, well, lighting and all that aside, keeping focus on the band while you're moving, like the logistics of it would have been insane.
That's the thing, the behind the scenes of a film clip. It may look very simple, but
No.
you can spend days just getting that shit right.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I'm very interested in that side of things, the technical side of it.
Yeah.
But gee, it's a lot of work, especially if you don't have the money to buy all the stuff that makes the job really much more efficient.
Yeah,
as opposed to a Bunnings work light with a Cooper's box around it, like we used in our film clip.
Hey,
yes,
it works, mate. It works.
It did work though. It did work. It worked quite well.
Oh, you got to cut that out, boys. I said we didn't have a fucking film clip. I'm a dumb cunt.
You also got to improve your moustache because you got milk all over it now.
That's all right.
Leave it.
I ain't got
Leave the milk.
I literally said before we don't have a film clip. I literally said before we don't have a film clip.
I thought you said that. I was like, I'm not sure.
Wait, you
maybe
didn't
I heard
say
you wrong.
anything, Rory. You didn't help me out, bro.
No, I thought I heard you wrong. Actually, no, I thought you just weren't counted as a film clip. I thought you were just like, nah, we're not count.
No, I literally thought we didn't have a film clip. That's how bad my memory is.
I didn't hear that.
I'm really tired. It's my excuse. I'm tired.
Next question.
Next question.